How about now? Can we hear anything now? Ooh, I think so. I think it's going to get really loud. Yeah. So how does that setting even get changed? Tell me. I don't know. Anyways, I'm Diane from Boho Stamper. Welcome. Thanks for joining me for some paper crafting fun on a Friday. And today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to play with my Brutus Monroe February Inspiration Kit that I got. I don't know, maybe you are or are not familiar with Brutus Monroe. I've got things from this company before. I'm not I can't say that I'm one of their steady customers because I don't regularly purchase from them, but I am a fan of bunny rabbits. So when I saw that their inspiration kit in February was bunny hugs, and I saw the stamp set, I was in. So anyways, I got that, and we've been busy with, I've had this for a couple weeks maybe, and but we've been busy with other things here, and so I have not shared this with you. I did open it and go through to see all the fun stuff in here, but today I want to play with it before it ends up being one of those kits that sits on my desk, and then next year I look at it and say, oh, I didn't even get to use that. So this is a pretty box that it comes in. Has a cute little bunny rabbit scene down there, see? Move my light around, so let's see how, okay, that's not too bad. All right. Yeah. So, pretty little box. I'm just going to hold on to that, and I can put maybe some completed cards and stuff in there for storage. Since that's another thing I'm working on, trying to get cards ready for the take down to the shop. And I'm going to show you quickly what came in this kit before we get started. I won't go into a ton of detail about everything because I don't even know if this is still available. At 4:30 this morning when Cammie wanted to go outside, because, you know, we like to do that when it's freezing, and then I couldn't go right back to sleep, I went in and started looking for some videos using the Bunny Hug set. And I found one, I think his name was Christopher Allen, and I'm really glad I watched it because I learned two important things. One, Brutus Monroe is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is only like an hour and a half from me. I didn't know that they were based out of Pittsburgh. And second, the printed cards and the little sentiment strips are printed in toner ink so that they can be foiled. I didn't know that either, and I have some of these, so from other holidays, I'll have to go in and foil a few to see how that turns out. So a couple of the things then that come in the kit were these little printed cards that you can color, use Copic, or I use Stampin' Blends, alcohol markers, or now that I know, I can foil them, or even that would be pretty to watercolor. So that was one thing in there. I tried to take most of the stuff out of the wrapping so I didn't have to crinkle in front of you. And then there were white font on black and black on white. Had that really backwards there. Some sentiment strips, and we'll probably use one of those today. Some really pretty sequins. I'm not a sequiny person, but there are 8 billion here, so I probably will have to use some of those. There's a lot of sequins in this, and I'll probably have to put that into a little bottle. These acrylic bubbles came in the kit, and I have used these on cards before. I have some different, I have like some pastel-y ones and some clear ones. They're really cute when they're clear and you use them as raindrops on your card. What else came in the kit? A piece of magenta glitter. It probably looks purple on the screen, but it's like magenta. Glimmer paper. Purple, greenish yellow, probably like a granny apple green, a pink, and a turquoise. What am I missing in there? And yellow, there we go. Cardstocks. And so I'm pretty sure I have ink in my Stampin' Up selection to match these. I would say, ooh, look, I got that one wet. My one thing's not dry all the way. Bermuda Bay. I don't know. Maybe polished pink is too bright. I don't know about the pink. Granny Apple Green. Probably a Daffodil Delight. In this, I still have Fresh Fig. I think that would look great with that in ink. Coordinating ribbon for those cardstocks. And actually, that cardstock is sort of lighter weight because its intended use is for layering. This great bunny stamp set. Isn't he cute? There's 35 stamps in here. And there's a little lammy tie down here. Little baby lamb. And coordinating dies. 32 dies. And there are enough Easter egg dies on here that you can cut 1, 2, 3, 4 at a time, which is going to save, because I think, so this video doesn't take too awfully long, I'm probably going to make the card that I saw this morning. I want to do the bunny rabbit, but I'm going to stamp him and color him with alcohol markers. And I might do that at the end of the video here. So anyone who maybe wants to stay tuned can do that. They also send you some pre-scored card bases. I think there's 5 or 6 here. I don't know. I think there's 5. My hands are so dry I can't get them apart. And Bunny Hugs collection of papers. Some pattern papers. And there are 6 patterns here. And there's a couple of each pattern. Very, very pretty. So this is a really nice kit. And whether this one is available any longer or not, like I said, I don't know. But, you know, check them out, because really, that stamp and die set, I think they said they're like $20-some a piece if you buy them separately. And I think the kit, the inspiration kits, are about $35, somewhere in there. So that's quite a lot of supplies there. And what I want to make today, I'm going to use, I apologize, I am all sniffly again, but spring is coming, and that's why we're going to make Easter cards. So I pulled out some of my backgrounds that I've done in the past. These were some alcohol ink backgrounds, and we did these on one of our Friday plays, and I think I linked this one below. That one I was playing with stamps on it because I messed it up. So I just went through and started stamping on it. That one was, I think this one was the print off of the print. This one I was trying to stamp on because, this one, when I was trying to heat emboss it, I made the, I made the paper bubble. Look at that, because I got too close with my heat tool. And so that's what can happen when you're using yellow paper, or this was photo paper, glossy photo paper. So anyways, I just started playing with it to see what would stamp on here. That one's pretty. Ooh, I also tried putting some mica flakes on there, and they're all falling off because they didn't want to stick. I did foil some of the alcohol ink on there after it had sat for a while and it was starting to dry, and some of it would still be sticky. I foiled over it. I think we might have done that on spring too. That was just on a different kind of paper. These were gel prints. This is Brushos, which I can't find any video on Brushos. So I don't know if we've not done one of those on screen. I know we did a workshop, but maybe I didn't do a video on that. We will have to play with Brushos or pigment sprinkles. And I'll have to maybe do a video on those because they are fun as well. This was on vellum. What did I do with that one? I don't remember. That was Brushos, and I actually used this to die cut fish. I have Stampin' Up trout stamp and die, and this was making some really pretty trout. So obviously I pull these out at Easter a lot, and then I keep making more. So, but what I did this morning, because I knew it was going to take some time to dry, See that one? No, this one is just an ink blended. I just used my regular pigment ink and blending brushes and brushed that just on some, it looks like shimmer paper because I see a little tiny bit of sparkle on there. That was Brushos, Sprinkles, and that was just one that I was stamping on and messed up. And then this morning, as I was saying, I knew they would need to dry, and I'm going to show you how I did these really quick. But these should be pretty much on their way to being dry, so we can use those in our card making today. And I did this, I don't know what this paper is. I don't know where I got it. I just have this stack of postcard size paper. I'm wondering if it came one time with printer ink to like print pictures or something on, because it's about the same size as those photo paper ones, but it's not glossy. It's just, I'll bet that's what it was, but this is matte. So anyways, these have been sitting here forever and ever and ever, so I just pulled them out and decided that's what I would use this morning to just make some pretty springtime backgrounds. And then while I was doing it, I have, and I don't know where I set the white one after I cleaned it up, but my champagne mist, but it wasn't champagne, it was the white. I spilled it in my box. Yes. Which really bummed me out because I don't know if you can get the white anymore. I didn't spill it all, but I made a big blob in my paint box there. So rather than waste it, I just grabbed some more of those papers and I just sucked it up and then spritzed some more ink on top of it because I wasn't going to throw all that away. This is another one that I wiped it up with. So most of these are dry, and they will come in handy actually if I do the card, and this was the other one that I wiped up with. So it's kind of a happy accident because, well, it's kind of pretty. But I was still kind of upset at myself that I spilled that because I like it. So let me just grab my little paint box here. Yep, and that's all of the, and then I had to, of course, clean that up, and thank goodness I hadn't taken my shower yet because I was able to get most of that off of me, but now we're going to add it back on there. So I just took a piece of that paper. You can use whatever kind of paper you want to experiment with. If you have some glossy paper or some just plain cardstock. This is not very heavy. This is a very light paper. I have a little squirrel sitting out in the tree branch watching me. And then I used, these are mica stains, distressed mica stains by Ranger. I'm going to, I thought for this one, for an example, we'll use Flickering Candle and Snow Flurry. So we have some yellow, and I just spritzed it on here. When you hold the pump down slightly, you get the bigger drops. When you push the pump down completely is when you get a finer mist, such as that. And if I just hold it down slightly, I get the bigger drops. And of course now we have yellow and blue, and so we're going to end up with some green on here. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I set all of my other ones this morning aside to dry on their own. You can, excuse me, you can dry these with your heat gun if you like. And then I had over in my, because you know Fridays are my fun Fridays. I just use whatever I find laying around. And I have this matte finished Altenew ink sprays, and this is pure white. And I spritzed some of that on there. And then I had that champagne shimmer, only it was white. I still don't know where I put that. I cleaned it up and I laid it down somewhere. And I just used, before I dumped it, I just used a stencil brush or a stippling brush or whatever, and took some off of the inside lip of my bottle and just spritzed it around onto the cardstock. And then I let those dry. See, I just threw the cap on the ground. Well, at least it wasn't the bottle. And the bottle didn't hit the carpeting. So I was really grateful for that. Where'd that go? And then I set it aside to dry. And that's how I came up with those really pretty, fun background pages for today. After some of them dried, I did take my little water spritzer and I just, because they are a distress, I just did a little bit of water on there. And I didn't grab a paper towel this morning. Let it dry for a couple of seconds, and then I used my paper towel, wiped off the little water blotches, and I ended up getting some cute little spots on my background. So that's what I think we're going to give a try. So let's see, the one that I saw in this morning's video at 4:30, which is why I can't really remember. I think it was Christopher Allen, A-L-A-N was his last name. And I'm going to have to go back and see. I'm sure he has other videos since he seems to be the spokesperson for Brutus Monroe. And now that I know they're out of Pittsburgh, that makes it a little more interesting for me. Well, I'll pay a little closer attention. So he took, I don't know what kind of spray inks he used. I think they were Brutus Monroe. And stamped some of those Easter egg designs on them. So I want to see. I think these two would be pretty for Easter eggs, huh? Nice and springy. Or maybe those two. That one has a little bit more yellow in it. Let's start with those and see where we go. I mean, you can pick whatever sections you like out of the paper that you create. And I think I'm going to try, oh, you know what, I should probably, I'll work on this one. These are single-sided. This is so cute. Well, let's do the one that he demoed first, because he didn't use background like that. My goodness. And I don't know how my ink is going to stamp on these, so I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Roundus in case I have to stamp a couple of times. And I just use my whatever magnets I have since I broke my one. And I don't know where the other one is because it has disappeared. And we'll just get some of these little Easter eggs. I'm going to die cut them. So I'm going to make sure I leave enough room in between to put my dies. Because, you know, it's always fun if you can get a bunch of them die cut at the same time and you don't have to keep running them through your die cut machine over and over. Oh, right to the magnet. Will you stop? I just want to see if I'm leaving myself enough room. I think I did. Actually, I wish I knew where the other magnet was because those stamps are sticking to that ink. I think I have another corner right here. There we go. That should do it. Here's hoping. I'm going to do this with I'm just going to use my VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink. Maybe Memento ink would work as well. Stays on, might work. I just want to stamp this in black ink to get my Easter eggs. We are going to use a technique today that well, not a technique, it's just, I don't want to get them too close to each other because they'll snap together and break again. Oh, I've never done before, but he added it to his card panel and I really thought it looked adorable. And the card that he did make was inspired by another card creator, but I don't know who that was. And it wasn't with Easter eggs. It was somebody from their design team, I believe, but it was a different set, but it inspired him to do this card, and I'm sure mine's going to come out different than his. So, put my magnet away. It now has an Easter egg on it. Oh, sorry, shaky, shaky. Cute, cute, cute. Just wipe that off so that my stamps are clean for another card. I kept the big bag that these all came in so that I could, next to the bunny, not the eggs. So, anyway, so I could put them all back into the big bag because I have a feeling these cello ones always rip and I don't want to end up losing anything. And let's use the Baby Boss today. He's feeling pretty spring-like, so I'm going to cut this in half. Just remember the Baby Cut and Emboss. Which, I know this isn't a Stampin' Up demo day, but I gotta tell you, this is 20% off right now, I believe. Yeah. So if you need, you can go right here, check it out. My shopping link is on my website, my Boho Stamper website, but you can email me if you need some more information about that. If you're looking for a small cut and emboss machine, now is the perfect time. And I didn't print the flyer with the sale information on it. I know, I'm horrible. I'm a horrible demonstrator. What can I say? But it is a good time to get a mini cut and emboss machine. My upline would be choking me right now if she knew I had this opportunity to tell you more about it and I'm not prepared. She would say, Diane, your customers are going to want to know these things. Yes, they are. Sorry. I kind of planned on having that ready for Monday because that's more my Stampin' Up day. But hey, everybody's entitled to use wonderful products, right? Not just Stampin' Up people. So, oh, it's so pretty out there today. The birds are singing. Yeah, so I hope my videos like this inspire you to pull out some of your, my washi tapes were all gone and I had to tear some more to use these. To use some of your supplies that you've got in your stash. Like I said, I get so upset with myself when it's sticky. I keep pulling it right off. Stop it. I pull out a stamp set and realize I never got to use it for whatever occasion, and now the new ones are out, and I like the new ones because I have this really, except the one that I used for Easter a lot. I did use it, so it's not like one of those ones that I've never used. I have used it, but this isn't going to be one of those that sits there either. I'm going to use it. Stampin' Up actually has a really cute one this year. And the only reason I didn't get it is because it doesn't have coordinating dies. And I am afraid that sometimes when I get busy, like I was doing one yesterday for our design team card for Stampin' Up. And we're given little prompts of what they want us to use, or what Anne wants us to use for her team this year, or this month, each month. And anyways, following my prompt for this month, I picked one out and started to make a card and realized that the coordinating dies do not really coordinate with the stamps. They coordinated with the paper, but when I stamped the images out, I had to fussy cut them. And so I was afraid that maybe that would be a negative to some people. Maybe they're going to look at that card and say, I don't want to cut all that out. Or maybe it's maybe some people, they love fussy cutting. But I didn't want to make a card as my design team card that might make crafters feel like it was too much work. No, that's not what it's about. It's supposed to be fun. Fun. So anyways, I switched gears and went with another set. And actually ended up not using any dies anyway. And I'll keep those little pieces that are left over because you just never know, right? I watched another lady too. She did a video as well and kind of has inspired me to try a slider card. I've never made a slider card. We've done many fancy folds, and this year we've gotten a little bit more. We did several of those box cards, and the Valentine's surprise pop-up ones, and so yeah, those are kind of cute little Easter eggs. Okay, and then all he did, this card was very, very quick. Once you have your initial backgrounds made that you can stamp your designs on. So we need, I do need a piece of color cardstock to accent this. Where are those card faces? Oh, there they are. But I don't want to use any of that design paper. Not for this card. So this is the standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that they had cut in half and scored already to give us a 4 1/4 by a 5.5 inch card base. And so I'm going to make, I usually only leave an 1/8 of an inch border, so I'm going to do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch cardstock to make a mat. And then this will be 3 3/4 by 5. This will be our top mat. I just have to figure out what color should I make. It's looking like it needs some orange, huh? Maybe some flirty flamingo. And that's just because of the colors that my ink made when I was spraying. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Okay. I'm good with that. I like flirty flamingo. So let's get a 4 1/8 by a 5 3/8 inch panel. Yeah, don't forget to, if you're so inclined and would be so kind to, like and subscribe to my channel. We're still trying to encourage people to craft and share their love of crafting, get more people involved with paper crafting. I know that, excuse me, the stitching group that I am in, which is online. Oh, that's pretty. I like that I have that color. There are so many people who got involved in it. I am absolutely amazed. But it's heartwarming to know that people still like to craft, and many of the crafters on there, the stitchers, are using fabrics and threads and designs and stuff that were handed down to them by their moms or their grandmothers. No, their love for stitching has carried down, and I think that's what we need to do with paper crafting too, and get some more friends involved in our paper crafting world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I want 6. I think 5 would be prettier. Oh, look at, I'm getting ink all over. I need to behave here and decide what I'm going to do. Yeah, so if we can get more people to do some paper crafts and stamping, and when I was going through my dies and stuff, I found these dies that I had never, well, I used them when I first got them, which was probably about 20 years ago, and pulled them out because those are going to go on some springtime cards too, I think. Aren't they pretty? Yeah. Okay. What he did was, and let's make sure this is a fine tip pen. It is. This is a Micron 01 fine tip pen, and I have seen this done on other cards. I have not done it because I don't always have the steadiest of hands. And so, I'm trying to make sure I don't have ink on my fingers here before I put them back on this card panel. All he did was drew kind of a wonky line. I mean, not too wonky, but not necessarily straight. And a couple of little stitch marks. Not bad. I'm okay with that. Yes, and it looks like that's been stamped on there, but it hasn't. We just drew it. Another thing that we can do just to add a little bit of interest to the background before we add our Easter eggs on there, is actually, this says Mango Melody on this, and that's why it's sitting right behind me, because it's not Mango Melody. This is Flirty Flamingo. It is mislabeled. I'm going to add some, if I can get the cap off, wrong end, speckles to the background. And so this is a Stampin' Right marker, and there is a brush end and there is a bullet tip end, and I'm going to take the brush end and I'm just going to flick some of the ink very lightly across the back of my card base, or my panel here. That's it. And look at the cute little speckles it made, just like on Easter eggs. You see? All right. I'm still getting stuff on my hand from those eggs. Shame, shame. There's my little tweezers. Let's just use them. Maybe I'll not destroy my card top here. Or maybe we'll just throw it right on top of there and really make a mess, huh? My goodness. I just want to get them laid down the way I think I want to adhere them before I start putting sticky stuff on them. Get off of there. There we go. Cute. All right. Good with that. So let's take a little bit of adhesive. Maybe I can pick them up with my take your pick tool. That one I think I'm going to actually put a dimensional on. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, help me. Speaking of Lord, and because Easter is right around the corner with spring, I just want to add my little offering of prayers and well wishes to those people in the Ukraine, and let them know that I also am thinking of them and praying for their safety and peace. I can't even imagine. Just can't imagine. I don't know. Every day I see anything, all I can think of is there before the grace of God go we, right? Because who knows? We don't know what's going to happen from day to day. Yeah. Once I have these on here, I'll press them down a little bit more. Like I said, I'm just trying not to get too much of this. And I don't know why my fingers are picking that ink up, but okay. Let's just do this. Set this aside, and we can take one of those little sentiment strips. I want to use them all because, like I said, I want to, well, obviously I'm not going to use them all on one card. How silly of me, right? But I do want to foil some. And there was one That was eggs. Where did it go? Oh, right there. Hope your Easter is extra special. When I'm doing thin strips, I like to have my trimmer blade on the bottom and push up so that my paper is held up against the top of the trimmer. And then let's grab another little leftover piece of this Flirty Flamingo. Should be long enough. I think I'm going to trim off my edges there. That's a little bit too much white for my liking at the end. Sort of like dead space there. Better, better. So what's everybody going to do for this weekend? This weekend is supposed to be in the 60s. Unbelievable. Well, not really. We're in Pennsylvania. I could be doing anything. I mean, there was snow on the ground yesterday morning again. And now we're going to go back to the 60s. And that is why my sinuses are destroyed. Mine and millions of other people. Let's try these tweezers because those are just not doing anything except dropping my paper. And let me over that way a little bit there, buddy. If I get this lined up on here right, I'll only have to cut 2 little cut marks. Okay. Oh, I guess I could take it down just a little bit more there, just a hair. So this weekend actually, an organization that my daughter-in-law is one of the founding members of, is they have this humongous, well, they did before lockdown, and are able to do it again now. They have a humongous basket raffle, and a lot of the businesses in the area will donate to this, and this is to raise funds in memory of a friend of theirs that lost her life. It's a long and sad story, but she was in an accident, and her vehicle was struck by a semi, and she was killed. And so the girls have formed right away, actually. They formed a fund in her name, started raising money that they then give to fire and rescue organizations for equipment and training, and they just do outstanding community service. The girls are wonderful. It's probably one of the best group of young women, and they make me proud. Anywho, their huge basket raffle is this weekend. And I do support them. I try to donate a basket, and then I also will go to the raffle itself, because I want to win something. My goodness, they have about 120 baskets. I was amazed. Companies, I mean, everybody from local small businesses to the big, Home Depots and Lowe's and everything were so generous. They have a full-size toolbox. The one local small business donated a Blackstone grill late last night. It arrived. They have, of course, there's spa baskets and picnic and wine baskets and oh gosh, I forget how tall it is. The one ladder company donated a ladder. So anyways, they were setting this up last night because they did have some pre-sale, people could get their tickets in case they can't get there Saturday for the event. And she took, well, they took a couple of pictures of the items being loaded into a car trailer, as well as being set up on at the location. I can't believe how wonderful people have been. They're just being, and I'm not saying that the stuff was handed to them on a silver platter. These girls worked their butts off. They went around and, asked for donations, and then they had to go back and pick everything up, and they've written their letters and done all their due diligence as far as licensing and all of it. Just so much work. So that's what tomorrow will be for me. I think that's pink and that one's orange. I can't tell. I like this color, but I can't find it again. What's that color? Yeah, so, I mean, it's nice that they took such a disaster and tragedy, and, so many people would turn it into a negative, and they worked hard to thank those folks who did everything possible. So let's move away from sad subjects and back to fun things, huh? Yeah, so liking and subscribing, that's a fun thing, right? Okay, that'll do. Because I have a little over 100 subscribers, and for me, that's a big deal. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm surprised. I know that I don't have like the 30,000 subscribers at some of those. Well, and I am subscribing to those channels as well because I learned so much from them, to the other crafters out there. And yeah, so that's very exciting that I've made it to 100. Yay! Thank you. You're awesome. I have noticed that when I was doing my journal videos, I didn't have quite the interest in them that I had hoped for. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing videos on those or if I'm just going to keep doing. I mean, I'm still making them. I'm still adding them to my Etsy store, which is also Boho Stamper. But I don't know if I want to try to schedule videos with those. I think I just like doing them. So look at that. Isn't that cute? Let's see how the color shows up on here. Oh, good. You can see the color. Nice. Okay. So this is my February inspiration kit from Brutus Monroe, Bunny Hugs. So that's it. I really do like doing a little, I have to do the insert right away because I am really making myself do the inserts to these cards, and because I'm getting them caught up from the ones that I've had from, I don't know how long, sitting here to get those packaged up. But I'll get this insert done as well. That is cute. And I think I am going to continue on here and stamp a bunny and color him in. So I thank y'all for joining me, and I hope that you have a lovely weekend. You'll be able to find, oh no you won't. I don't think I'll put it on my Etsy shop. It's probably going to go down to the store. I was going to say you'll be able to see me. I'll grab a picture of my bunny one and add it to my posts. Or how am I going to do that? I don't even know how to do that on YouTube. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to have to find some drying up medicine today. Yeah. So, alright guys. That was Bunny Hugs. And again, I'm happy that you stopped by Boho Stamper to watch us make this little card today. And I hope that your weekend is extra special too. Stop back and we'll do another one. And somehow I'll get a picture added on there of the next card. Another learning experience. Have a great weekend, everybody. Love ya. Bye.